Welcome to Movie Complex. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the latest Quibi Show reviews. Now let's get into the review.
Marmini, Barbara stirpe natus es. Tandem eis experto opust. Verum autem Roma.
Wir zeigen unseren Leuten, dass Rom nicht unbesiegbar ist.
Dafür müssen wir alle Stämme vereinigen.
Das ist unmöglich.
Mich haben sie in Rom gelehrt, meine Familie zu vergessen, meine Leute zu verachten, meine Art zu leben. Ich war einer von ihnen. Weil ich weiß, wie sie leben, werdet ihr wissen, wie man sie tötet.
Lasst uns gemeinsam kämpfen!
Wolf, komm. Und die Welt wird brennen. Nichts besteht für immer.
Based on Netflix's website, Barbarians is a German historical war drama about Arminius, a Roman soldier torn between the empire that raised him and his Germanic tribe. His internal conflict of where his allegiances lie spark an epic historical clash. But if you watch the opening scene of the show, you're first introduced to supporting character Unsnilde. We follow Unsnilde for quite some time, 13 minutes and 33 seconds, before we ever see our main character Arminius. The whole reason I clicked on the show was that I saw this badass picture of Unsnilde on the cover. Honestly, I don't know German war history and I found that incredibly misleading. Hell, in the expositional battle scene towards the beginning, the last frame ends on Unsnilde. I found out once all focus of Unsnilde shifted over to Arminius that he was the main character. Despite that fact, the show is still off to a good start with the series. The storyline has me hooked, so I pressed on to see where it went. I managed to binge all 6 41 to 51 minute episodes of the series within a couple of days. That binge factor alone puts the rating no lower than a 5 out of 10. Once we get to our main character Arminius, I find him riddled with internal conflict, but that's not a bad thing. Arminius was taken from his German tribe and raised by the Roman Empire. That gives his character dimension and leads him towards some pretty tough decisions in the future. It also makes his actions carry mad weight. If he makes the wrong decision, he could potentially jeopardize his position and his tribe. Now on to our supporting characters. I absolutely adore Folkvin. He is this gutsy, passionate, and smart fighter with a big heart. I'm not sure if he's all fiction or if he has some basis in German history, but he is captivating and interesting to watch. A lot of the decisions he makes has some pretty heavy consequences, and I'm interested to see where they take his character in Season 2. And yes, Season 2 has been confirmed. And now on to the character that I started off loving and slowly grew, not to hate, but certainly to give the side eye to, Unsnilde. They portrayed her as this woman lost in a world of patriarchy. She appears to have no say-so in who she wants to marry, if she can be a warrior, and no say-so in family decisions. The story sets her up to be this oppressed woman, but she's the least oppressed. Unsnilde openly and verbally refuses to marry her husband-to-be and has her heart set on another character. It's apparent in this culture that women have no say-so in warfare, but she interjects her opinions whenever possible. This sent me on a frenzy of confusion. How can you be in an oppressive society and structure but be so openly rebellious with no consequences? She is never punished for being outspoken to anyone, and there is hardly any consequences for her actions. She's also very manipulative and deceitful. She often stretches truths and manipulates circumstances to achieve her goals. However brave and ruthless she is, some of these traits are unforgivable for me as a viewer. I started off rooting for her, then slowly retracting my cheers and shifting them to other characters. There is definitely a Twilight-esque love triangle in this show, and I deeply feel like this was not part of the history. I feel like this is or was created by the showrunners to insert some unnecessary drama and give a subplot to the major plot of the series. I feel like the love triangle was totally unnecessary and took away from the wonderful traits the characters showed. In a historical war drama, who needs extra subplots? I don't want to say too much, but for some reason, I've been noticing that shows and movies aren't letting the badass female shine without also assigning her some terrible traits. For instance, Usnilda is already manipulative and deceitful, but to top it off, you also give her a fleeting heart, or that she changes her love interest very quickly. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. She then became my least favorite character of the show. I personally call this the Sookie Stackhouse syndrome. Remember in True Blood when Sookie was the female protagonist with the big heart? She fought for everyone she loved and loved hard. Then they slapped her with this trait of promiscuity at some point, jumping from partner to partner, which made me ultimately cringe and eventually stop watching the show. I didn't stop watching this show, but I did give it the side eye for doing it. The battle scenes in this show were epic, and I'm not exaggerating. I don't usually like gore in war movies, but I feel like it was the perfect payoff that I needed in a build-up show like this. There was blood splatters, swords, heads being cut off, and lots of action. If you like any of that stuff, watch this show. All in all, good action, some good characters, brilliant scenery, and a great show. I give Barbarians an 8 out of 10. Watch this show if you miss shows like Spartacus, Vikings, or Rome. This would be your perfect match. Also, the original language of this film is German. I would recommend watching it in German if you don't mind reading subtitles. Anyway, if you have the time, why don't you stop by our partners at Groove.com for some sweet deals on movies, and our friends at Things from Another World for comics and everything pop culture. If you need an affiliate marketing program to join, try ShareASale. Links to our partners and ShareASale are in the description down below. The Movie Complex channel is now available as a podcast. Want to enjoy movie reviews while driving, at work on the computer, or while going for a jog? Well, our podcast called Bite Size Movie Reviews is available in the iTunes Store, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and more. Plus, we'll be throwing our exclusive interviews on the podcast. See you there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified on new content. When do I post new content? Every Saturday. Next Saturday, I'll be reviewing Over the Moon. See you Saturday. This is the Movie Complex channel, your place for bite-sized reviews.